Yo, what is up guys, it's Pedro here, and in today's video we'll be talking about a secret weapon that the Washington Commanders might have on offense at the running back position in Chris Rodriguez. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. We're close to 15,000 subscribers. I know some of you guys who are watching aren't subscribed. It's free, takes 1 second. Less than 40% of you guys are not subscribed. It really means a ton to me. A little bit of a Christmas present to me if you guys can do that. But yeah, let's talk about Chris Rodriguez. The Commanders got a big game this week against the New Orleans Saints. I might make a video about it, but Derek Carr is out. It's good news for the Commanders. Not good news for them. Obviously, it sucks that someone gets hurt, but that's how the NFL works. And in terms of the Commanders, that's good news for them and their chances of winning this game. But we know just because a team has injuries doesn't mean that the Commanders are going to beat them. The Commanders played against the Cowboys, and guess what? They didn't have Trayvon Diggs. They didn't have Brandon Cooks, Zach Martin, and I believe DeMarcus Lawrence, and maybe some other players. Guess what? The Commanders lost. So and obviously they didn't have Dak Prescott. So just because injuries happen doesn't mean that the Commanders are automatically gonna win this game. The Saints aren't a great team. They're not a terrible team, but without Derek Carr, they're not a very good team. They're gonna be having Hayner or whatever his name is, or maybe Spencer Rattler, and they also brought in Ben DiNucci. So that's their quarterback situation. That's how it's looking. But the Commanders, let's talk about Chris Rodriguez. So offensively, they've been good this year, of course, and that's been because of their run game a lot, because of Jaden Daniels in the run game, also his passing as well, and Terry McLaurin, the offensive line's been good. Brian Robinson has been pretty good for them, but he's been in and out of the lineup. He is starting, I'm not going to say injury prone yet, but he's starting to get close to that level where he gets injured very, very often. Obviously, the first injury he had was not, you can't say that's injury prone. That was a very unfortunate situation. But then after that, he's had a few like ankle sprains or hamstrings, and some of that's common. So with the running back position, so we'll see how it continues, and hopefully, not gonna he doesn't get hurt again for the rest of the year and the next year or so, and he's pretty good to go. And even though he's had a few injuries, he's only missed like 2 or 3 games, I believe like 3 games this year. But Chris Rodriguez in his place when he's been out has been very good. And then now Eckler is out very likely for the season. If not for the season, he's at least out until that last game of the season or the playoffs. So they're going to be without him. And in his absence, Chris Rodriguez had a game against the Tennessee Titans, and Brian Robinson had a game too. The first half had a 40-yard touchdown, longest run of his career, I believe, longest touchdown run of his career. I believe he had a longer reception against the Seahawks, but Brian Robinson had a good game. Jerry McNichols was okay, didn't have a lot of carries, but Chris Rodriguez, you look at the game, 13 carries, 94 yards, 7.2 yards a carry, and a touchdown. Had a long of 25, but every single time was getting 6-7 yards pretty much, and some of those were short yardage situations. Again, got that touchdown, which was great to see for the Washington Commanders. And, if you look at his other games, he played in the Steelers game, had 2 carries for 4 yards. And then the Giants game had a pretty good game too against, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon. I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau played. Not completely sure there, but Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, some good run defenders there. 11 for 52, and then he only has 3 games with carries on the season. 26 carries for 150 yards, 6 yards a carry, almost a touchdown, a long of 25. Doesn't have any receptions this year. Maybe that changes now, but he's on the active roster. It's him, McNichols, and Brian Robinson. I think they should continue to use him, and he is going to be an asset for them. I think if you need Brian Robinson to get a little bit of rest, guess what? Just give it to Chris Rodriguez and let him get you 6, 7, 8 yards. He has very good vision, and I don't know. Let's see what he can do, because he was a 6th-round pick. Last year, Eric Bieniemy, wasn't a great coach here, but he has been known to find some good talent at the running back position. A lot of people said Isaiah Pacheco was one of his guys, and they drafted him. So just something to watch out for. Maybe he can end up being a stud. He didn't get a lot of opportunity last year. If you look at the stats, let's pull it up here. So he had 51 carries last year for 247 yards, 5 yards a carry almost, and 2 touchdowns. Had 1 fumble and lost it. Also had 2 catches for 16 yards. So he was good last year. Just didn't get a lot of run, but did get more run than he's gotten this year. Obviously, because last year he was drafted. They're going to want to see how the rookie plays. It's that regime drafted him, and this regime did not draft him. Still got some games left, 4 games left for the Commanders. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 20-ish carries, 25 carries the rest of the way, depending on how they're going. And if they, are beating the Saints by a lot, keep giving him the carries and see what you got in him. Because if he continues to show that he can ball out, and it's not just a 1 or 2 game thing, you can start giving him more carries in the run game, not just when you're winning by 2 scores, 3 scores in the fourth quarter, but in the first quarter, in the second quarter. Maybe Brian Robinson just got 2 carries and you want to give Chris Rodriguez a carry and get you 6-7 yards, because he's a tough runner. He can break some tackles. He has good vision. And if you want more of a receiving back, then you can have Jeremy McNichols. I think Jeremy McNichols is more of the Austin Eckler replacement in the pass catching game. And I think maybe Brian Robinson will take some of those receptions as well. But the carries that Eckler gets, which is a decent amount per game. Like, he's getting 5-6-ish carries a game, maybe even more. I'll go ahead and look it up. But those are going to go to, some are going to go to Robinson, maybe one to McNichols, but I think a lot of it is going to go to Chris Rodriguez, and I think it should. Let's see what he can do. And I think if he continues to ball out, he might end up being a secret weapon for the Commanders moving forward, and something that even opens up this offense a little bit more when you have 2 running backs that are able to get you 1-2 yards when you really, really need it. And they haven't had that a lot in the past, and it's good to have a guy like that when, Brian Robinson can do it. But if he has a couple carries and he's pretty tired, then you can go ahead and put in Chris Rodriguez for a carry or 2 and let Brian Robinson get that breather, and it really does help. It really does help. You look at the carries per game that Eckler gets, probably like 6-ish a game: 2, 8, 3, 6, 9, 4, 7, 11, 13, 2, and 9. And he did get hurt at the end of that Dallas game, but that didn't really affect it. Average 4.8 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns on the year. Rushing, no receiving touchdowns, but Eckler had a good season. Hopefully he's able to come back, but if not, it was a good signing by the Commanders. But those are they're going to have to, divvy up those carries somehow. Maybe 1 or 2 will be to Jaden Daniels a game, but I think that is going to go to Chris Rodriguez now, and I'm excited to see what he can do with the opportunity. It was a really good game against the Titans, and he's wearing number 36 now. Gave number 23 to Marshawn Lattimore. It's a good thing he did it. Some people get upset about that, but you have to understand, I'm saying some players get upset about switching numbers or might ask for something in return, but you have to understand Marshawn Lattimore is, at least right now, in a different tier than Chris Rodriguez, and I think Chris Rodriguez gains more by just giving him that number and gains more respect from his teammates and stuff for doing that than charging him 25 bands or 50K, whatever he wants. For that jersey number. So he's got number 36 in his first game with number 36. He played well. He got cut 2 times this year already, and he's made the most out. So he's made the most out of his opportunity after getting cut recently. He literally got cut that week and then got put on the practice squad, elevated because of the Eckler injury, and ended up balling out. So he definitely makes the most out of his opportunities. And I would say my expectations for him are kind of 4 to 5 carries a game the rest of the way. That's at least what I want to see. Maybe the coaching staff doesn't feel the same because, they have cut him multiple times. They obviously aren't super high on him, but when players are doing stuff like this in the game and getting you 13 carries, 94 yards in a touchdown, I don't care if it's in garbage time. Their players were still in. He was balling out. I think you got to give him an opportunity until he shows you he shouldn't get the ball a lot. If he fumbles, hopefully that doesn't happen, knock on wood, or if he's just not running that hard, then okay, that makes sense. But at least for now, keep giving him the opportunity and we'll go from there. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Just want to talk about Chris Rodriguez and give him some praise because he deserves it. Again, cut multiple times this year, back on the roster, balling out. And now with Eckler out, he's going to get an opportunity. And if he keeps balling out, he's going to get more and more carries. And maybe he could be a crucial part of the Commanders' offense in the next year or two. Who knows? We will see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And comment down below your favorite all-time Commanders / Redskins running back. Can be John Riggins, can be Alfred Morris, whoever you want. Just go ahead and name a player. Could be Chris Thompson, could be a top guy, or could be a under the radar guy as well. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy, and peace.